Well, hello everybody. My name is Carrie Barton. I am with Body Shop Connect. When people say, how would you describe yourself? One of the things I would say about myself, and I think others would say is, or if they had to describe me, is passionate. So when I'm passionate about life and I'm passionate about what I do in the industry. And because of that, my role at Body Shop Connect is the customer experience manager, customer experience officer, I should say. I get to be the CEO of an amazing company, and we are here to help our customers understand what that customer experience looks like. So today's conversation that I want to have with you today is a little bit different than normally what you hear from Body Shop Connect. So our hope is, as a company, is to take you from good to great. My agenda has a lot of things on it, and they all kind of focus on those same things: is changing the landscape about the customer experience. A lot of the things that Jessica from SGI talked about was on my list of things to talk about. So it kind of all went in together. Of everything she was saying, I'm like, hey, that's part of my spiel. That's part of my spiel. That's part of my spiel. So hopefully you guys all walk away with something a little bit different than you were doing yesterday and start doing it again today. The landscape of collision repairs has changed greatly, and that experience that people are looking for has been part of that change. People no longer compare their past experience. It's all about how well, before it was about how well is my vehicle repaired. It's all about the experience that people receive now, and not just about handing your business card, hey, catch me later if you have any problems, questions, concerns, give me a shout. It's changed dramatically, and as the industry has changed with repairs and stuff like that, we have to look at the changes that our shops are making in that experience that the customers receive. We have to make sure that the experience that customers are walking into is things that they are relating to that experience and that request from other people. How when you go to Starbucks, what's that experience that you hit? You go to a 5-star hotel, what does that experience look like? When you go to a high-end boutique, what's that experience look like? Everybody's talking about what that experience is. And even for myself, a lot of times my gifts to people is I want to give them an experience, because memories last forever. And so that word experience can filter around to so many aspects of our business. We have to identify the customer and how different their expectation is for the service. So we all know that we can get our work through insurance companies, and the insurance companies have set an expectation for the customer of what they're going to receive. We've got the vehicle owners on their own of their expectation. We've got dealerships that will send work to our shops, and they have set a preset expectation. And then we have the dealerships who want to send you the business as well. So then there's expectations there. So sometimes it's creating that experience for each and every one of those customers. And my idea kind of thing is you've got to make everybody feel that their experience is the most amazing experience, and you want to provide that experience to them. So you've got to think of different ideas and different ways to create that experience for that customer, whether it's, having them a VIP card, I'll say, right? So if you do work for dealerships and you want to say to that dealership is, if that customer is in an accident, give them this VIP card to show them that, we'll take care of them, and they have that trust and experience. So again, you want to ensure that you are constantly giving them that experience. And one of the things that we talk about is what that looks like and how well you do things. So we got to keep that idea. And again, my agenda talks about experience and what that looks like throughout the entire process. How important is the idea of the experience? We talk about it's easy to give a customer a bad experience, just piss them off, and made that one pretty fast. But we talk about the role of Google reviews and giving them the ability to feel empowered, and our staff to feel empowered, and deciding how they want to inquire, how do they want to provide that experience for that customer. Working on CSI and reviews. We have abilities to make sure that we touch the customers on every point. We've got interfaces with Body Shop Connect as that idea, but we all know that Google review means everything, right? So we have to look at the ability to touch that customer, make sure that we're getting that feedback and we're following through on that feedback. Our program has abilities to customize templates for emails. That can include that link for a Google review, because it's important. How are you going to get that Google review? What are you asking for? Do you ask your customer for a Google review? Do you just cross your fingers and hope they give you a Google review? Are you using social media? Because we do know that when something goes wrong, social media usually blows up, that they're all willing to say what went wrong. So we need to make sure that we're ensuring that they want to tell us what went right. So again, we have all of these survey engines available through Body Shop Connect, if that is something that you're looking at, and again, customizable with our program. So how do we set our expectations to exceed, with our staff, to exceed our customers' expectations, but without burning out our staff? How many times have we heard that, our CSRs are at their wits' end, and why are they at their wits' end? They're at their wits' end because that customer won't stop yelling at them. The customer's calling. So we try to figure out, how do we balance to keep our staff happy so that they can in turn keep our customers happy? Because we've all heard that if our staff is happy, then they portray that to our customers, and that experience goes all over. For that part about, I talk about, not burning out our staff. How do you make sure that they're doing things that make sense to your business and make sense to them and make sense to your customers? And when I say that, I talk about, are you scheduling estimates? Are you allowing walk-ins just to come in? Because I can probably promise you that your staff would love to have the estimate schedule, or that estimate scheduled. It makes it a little bit easier on them, knowing, what kind of car's coming in, what type of, at 2:00, Mr. Smith with his red Toyota Corolla with the front end damage. He's got it already in his mindset of what's coming in. So, thinking of that, is that what the customer is looking for, is to have that appointment booked? We book appointments for everything. You book an appointment for a dental cleaning, you book an appointment for everything in this world. And sometimes I think that although we're trying to be what the customer wants, knowing that they are guaranteed to have that time slot for them is sometimes a nice thing. And I know that SGI is talking about the bringing in of the Progi Sync, right? So the calendars and stuff like that. So that, again, will help understand what that whole scheduling piece looks like. How do we simplify the customer's drop-off process? How do we make, again, that CSR's life a lot easier when that first customer comes in? How do we handle it? Again, for ease of your CSR, there's parts of Body Shop Connect that can allow for setting automated reminders for customers to remind them that their repair drop-off is on XYZ date. How many people have had customers forget that they were supposed to bring in their car on Tuesday or on Wednesday or on Thursday, right? So again, you've got your week scheduled based on that customer coming in, but if they don't come in because they forgot or they booked their appointment weeks ago, it's nice to have that experience that you're willing to say, you know what, don't even worry about it, I'm going to send you a reminder, right? So they're not going, okay, let me put it in my phone. Again, setting that experience right off the top of that high experience for them is something I believe is really important, and our system helps you do that. Sorry, this fly is going to drive me crazy. Using Body Shop Connect's tracking and creating customizable check-in sheets. Again, we talk about what makes the CSR's life easier. I think the biggest thing that you'll find from the CSRs and the ones that I've worked with is their biggest frustration is the phone never stops ringing. It's constantly ringing, it's constantly ringing. Why not give her the tools that she needs to not have that phone ring? Why not empower her with the knowledge that will help her have all the answers instead of having to say to the customer, hold on a sec, let me find out. How happy is that customer? How happy is your CSR looking for that? ensuring that we have all of the right answers taken when the customers come in, asking the right questions, asking them what happened in their accident, having those things done. And again, I think that we want to do what we can do to stop our CSRs from getting burnt out, our customers from getting frustrated about the situation that they're going through right now, and why not have certain things already preset, creating a customized check-in sheet with our system that you want to ask the right questions. What do you want to know? Again, it helps you guys, it helps your techs, and it helps the customer by answering those questions. I talk about thoroughly analyzing the accident scenario so that you're uncovering all of the information. So what information is important to the CSR, the insurance company, and to your technicians when it comes to checking the vehicle in? How many people have had lights on in the dash that has nothing at all to do with the accident, that they had low windshield wiper fluid, but it's in, so when they pick up the vehicle, that light is still on. So if you ask them ahead of time, do you have any lights on your dash? And they say, yeah, I'm low on windshield, or I have my gas lights on, or whatever. Oh, was it on previously, or was that accident related? Oh, it was on previously. And again, setting that expectation for the customers. The check engine light, maybe it was due for an oil change, but a lot of times our customers then turn around and think it's on the shop's responsibility that they never noticed it beforehand. But again, when you're talking and asking those questions, asking that question is what happened in the accident. Having that clear understanding for you and your staff to know how did the accident occur, right? So people have an accident and they ask, did you strike a curb? Why are you asking? Wouldn't it be helpful to see if did it need a wheel alignment, or did, if the lug nuts around the tires, or having all of that around of knowing where that information is really helpful, I think, at the beginning. And how that accident occurred can sometimes help in assisting with the damages too, is when you have to say, we've all had that customer that turns around and says, that scratch in the back was related. Oh, I thought you said that you hit the vehicle in front. Oh yeah, so you did. So you think about, again, setting those expectations for the customers. How many passengers are in your vehicle? But again, taking that couple extra minutes at the very beginning can help, the CSR understand the situation, your technicians, the estimator, but it also, I think, shows that the customer that you do care about the little details, and again, about the experience that they're looking for, and why you're asking them. Establishing communication channels with customers. And again, SGI, Jessica brought this up a lot, right? I think it's wrong to assume that every customer is the same. I think it's wrong to assume that one individual wants this type of update, one individual wants this type of update, and one individual wants another. So why do we decide at the shop, or you decide at the shop, to say that this is what the customer wants? Why not ask the customer, what do they want? Because again, by asking what the customer wants, you're caring about their experience that you're dealing with. So again, being able to see if they want a text message, an email, a call, what is their preferred method of communication? Maybe they're gone away and don't want a phone call because you're now going to incur charges because they're in the US or whatever it is like that. But the ultimate thing is that what does the customer want, and that's what we need to follow. And again, luckily enough for those customers with Body Shop Connect, you click a little box. Do you want a text? Do you want an email? But the big thing is, you have also the big ability is, how good are you at updating your departments? Are you really good? Do you do everything possible? Because if you can say you're really good, you can take yourself to that next level, and you can give your customer a portal to look into to see their own progress of the vehicle. So again, as Auto House talks about how important, making sure your dates, arrival dates, moving along dates, because again, you certainly do not want your customer looking into their portal as that vehicle goes, from paint, and then it goes back to body, and then moves around to paint, and then it goes, oh, it's finished. Right? So again, data in is good, but you have to be consistent and true to it, and it keeps, again, everybody on track that everybody knows where that vehicle is at. So it's, again, important for date management and program management to help use and utilize the tools that you have to make your life easier, your staff's life easier, and your customer's life easier. We talk about making the CSR's life easier, but wouldn't it be nice to make our technicians and our estimators' life a little easier? There's different ways to do that, and one of the ways in Body Shop Connect is the live time production boards, stopping that tech so that everybody sees in the back those production boards that will show where the vehicle's moving, so that nobody's wondering, where's going on? Do we have to go search for that vehicle? Again, you're looking at your KPIs, watching them all on top of each other. Is how are we doing with this? KPIs, KPIs, KPIs. We talk about them constantly with SGI. We talk about them with AutoHouse. We talk about them with Body Shop Connect. In order to provide a great experience, you have to be a great shop. So I think they all go hand in hand with that. Again, I go around and round in my conversations with my experience, because I think it so much ties in together. So we talk about providing valuable information to our shops, the estimated damages, the additional damages found. When I talk about updating the customer, what does that update look like? And again, Jessica brought this up, and I just kept thinking this is exactly what I was talking about. What type of updates are we providing the customer? What value of those updates do they care about? What value do you think they care about? And again, what value does the insurance company wish that you were talking to them about? How many times have you walked in and the customer gets an estimate and it comes in at $2,200, right? But we all know you come in and you do the dismantle and all of a sudden it's gone up to $3,500, right? And it's like, if we never notify the insurance we notify the insurance company that's got up, but we maybe have not forgotten to let the customer know that. So when they're thinking, oh my God, they're now trying to gouge me or gouge my insurance company because the price went up, because they don't understand why that price went up. So again, if we're wanting to do that true customer experience, I always think is that give them a call. Let them know that we found additional damages. You don't want to shock them, so we're giving you the upfront. Just want to let you know that originally that it was $2,500, but we do recognize that upon dismantle, parts price changes, your new bill is $3,200. But again, we've set that expectation early on so that there's no shock or sticker shock at the very end of the day. And the same goes for the insurance company. I'm sure the insurance company would be happy to see that the damages were $2,500 and then to $3,200. And those appraisers get to see that. But again, that appraiser may not have shared that with the adjuster. The adjuster may have just got off the phone. But if that adjuster was able to get that information, they too can understand what's going on. And again, the customer experience, not only with you, the customer, but your experience that you're giving the insurance company is an important part of it as well. So I think that letting the customer understand everything that you're talking about from the beginning, because I promise you, when you explained everything at the beginning of how everything went, they are so rattled, they are so many things going through their heads that they don't remember the second thing that you said. So it's really, I think, important to remind the customer of the different steps. And it doesn't matter that you're repeating yourself 3 or 5 times, because I don't think you're going to hear, you told me too many times that I owed X. Because again, it's better to know than not to know, right? So letting them know the type of forms of payment that you take. We take Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Or maybe you don't take American Express, but you haven't notified them, and that's the only type of form of payment that they have. Isn't it better to know, midway through repairs that you don't take American Express rather than at the end, even though at the beginning you told them that they didn't? So again, setting that expectation, giving the customer the heads up of your hours, giving them that, we're wanting to know that the vehicle is going to be ready on Friday, we're here till 5 o'clock, or, we're hoping that the vehicle is ready, in the morning. But again, keeping it updated. I know that things can happen, and so do customers. But again, I think that the whole key piece is keeping a customer informed for all of the things that can and do happen is the key to a success, is letting the customer know. Yes, the customers are going to be frustrated that things go wrong, but they're more frustrated when they think their vehicle is going to be ready on Friday and find out it's not going to be ready till Tuesday. So setting that up. And again, when you are watching for that, watching your when that vehicle is going to be ready, you're more conscious of how many days have we had that? If I'm pushing that vehicle, I'm going to say the customer's ready on Tuesday, that rental's good Wednesday, Thursday. So again, your team is realizing that length of rental is going up and up and up. Having an efficient process when the customer is picking up the vehicle. Again, I talk about the minimize the unpleasant surprises. So we've taken care of that. We've communicated what everything's going on. We've told them all of the hours, the estimated completion date. So again, how many people have wanted to ask the customer, the vehicle's ready here and they're gone now for 2 days? Who's carrying that length of rental for those extra 2 days that customer is not having, right? So again, if you're setting that expectation with that customer that we feel your vehicle is going to be ready, you're putting it in their head that it could be ready. There's things that can go, but again, you're watching and controlling or attempting to control your length of rental. We also have the ability to create rules in Body Shop Connect so that we can have stoppages. Are we checking here? Are we checking there? And putting things that, did we do a QC at this point? What parts of the system stop us before we can move on? So maybe it's that phone call. Nothing can move forward until we've made that final phone call to the customer. Nothing can move forward until we've updated the insurance company. Finalizing and customizing your quality control sheet. Everybody maybe wants a little bit differently their sheets to look. What do they want to check? But again, getting your staff to buy in, understanding what your steps are can be very beneficial. Again, I talk about creating those rules and compliance, moving through the departments, you're using Tech Connect, clocking in and out. Again, this brings in the whole idea of that experience. The experience starts from the beginning till the end, and you have to make sure that experience is also for your technicians repairing that car. Because again, what is their experience? How much can you want them to be engaged in the culture of your shop, right? So again, are you a paper-based shop? So we print out those papers versus having them online. Who wants to customize it? Where does the sign-offs go? Again, all of these are available with us to help you guys with your businesses. Our goal is to give you guys the amazing customer experience that you want to give yours. So again, we watch the flow of it. How we exit that customer, having that conversation with our CSR that said goodbye that exited the first customer at Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning. How energized are they to say the same thing again to that customer that left at 4 o'clock? And why shouldn't they get the same exact experience that the customer at 4 o'clock got that the 9 o'clock customer did? You want your CSRs to be excited that they're saying, explain the process and not just being that robot, right? So again, you want to have that great Google review. You want to encourage that positive lasting impression. You want to create those high Google reviews. Maybe involve your staff. How do you get them involved? Typically what's the two things that you hear most about is the experience that they received and how clean their car was. You never hear about, that quarter panel, mint. But what do you hear is, oh my God, my car was so clean. So why not run a little contest? Why not